Good morning, good morning, good morning. You know what today is? Monday Morning Chats with Sack. And I'm Sack, Sakina. I hope that you guys had a great weekend. I hope that you guys had a great last week. I had a good week. I told myself that I was going to just chill, not do much, and just get some writing done. And I did not accomplish that. So today will be the day that I get some writing done and make a schedule to stick to it. But last week was great. I had a great time. Got a chance to try out a new restaurant. I always love trying new restaurants. I got a chance to go to the National Art Museum of DC. Beautiful. I got a chance to go to a philanthropic event. Philanthropic, for those are not from the Baltimore area, it is a nonprofit, more for the elite, and they had an event to acknowledge one of their scholarship recipients. So they had a scholarship for someone that attended University of Baltimore School of Law. The event was great. I was in VIP. Got a chance to connect with one of my colleagues that I didn't see him until like pre-COVID, right? So I saw him right before the pandemic, and it was just great to catch up. And just so it makes me feel good when I hear about my colleagues doing well and he's doing well. And what else did I do? I went to another restaurant again, Kanoko. Their food is good. So if you like Jamaican cuisine, you should definitely try it. Really good. But yeah, overall, I had a good weekend. So this week, I'm going to try to chill out because I'm planning my mother's 60th birthday party this Saturday. And I have pretty much everything. Just probably need to wrap up and get it just a few little small items because I am the host that does the most. So I'm going to definitely make sure that double check my list to make sure I have everything and to see whatever I don't have to go out and get those and clean because I want to have family over. Make sure my house is extra tidy. And yeah. But I went to church Sunday and it was titled Rock Solid. And Pastor Battle talked about like different things that you need to have a solid foundation with God. And that sermon was amazing. And I'll tell you what else he shared, but I want to say this. Right before he closed out, he said, I want to pray for people, because we talked about relationships, right? He said, I want to pray for people that's here today, or whether you're online, for those that maybe you had a falling out with someone and maybe you didn't want to, but you know you had to like separate yourself from this person, but there's no communication and you know that it's it's supposed to be better, right? The relationships, it's supposed to be better and you want it to be better. And he was like, if that's you and you want to pray for healing for this relationship, I want you to stand. And I thought about it like, what relationship would I want to get better, right? What relationship? And I thought about it and I stood up. And as he's praying, like the tears just kept flowing. And I had eyeliner on and I was getting ready to meet someone up at the art museum. I'm like, crap. I don't want my friends to think I'm like just all over the place, makeup smearing. But it really made me think about not just the relationship that I want mended, but it made me think about those out there that want a relationship with someone and you guys are on the outs and you want the relationship to come together, you just don't know how. So let me give you some advice, and then I'm going to tell you what I'm going to talk about. Whenever you have an out with someone, disagreement with someone, sometimes it is necessary to separate yourself from that person, right? Because as human beings, we are emotional, and sometimes we could say things that we don't mean, and you want to be mindful of what you say, because words do stick, right? People may not remember exactly what you said, but based on your words, they will remember how you made them feel. And so I think that sometimes it's important to have that time apart, right? Have that time apart and really ask God to bring you guys together. Don't try to do it on your own. I think that you need God, and ask God, hey, whenever this person is emotionally available and emotionally stable, can we find a way to come back to each other, right? Can we find a way to come back to each other? Because I really think you need God in these situations. There's a family member that I haven't talked to in, I'm trying to think, almost 2 years, a little over 2 years. And that was because I got tired. I got tired of being the big person. I just got tired of it. And I was like, you know what? Even the tired person, even the stronger person deserves apologies, right? They deserve apologies. So my prayer to you, if you're in the outs with someone and you really don't want to, but you know that you had to walk away, I challenge you to talk to God more, to figure out what is needed and ask him to bring you guys together. But back to my pastor's sermon, the title was called Rock, Solid Rock, right? And what does it mean to be rock solid and have a strong foundation with God, right? By practicing his word. And I can honestly tell you that it's easy to, at first I used to think that it was hard to remember scriptures and recite them. But what I have found is that that's the easy part, right? I'm at a point now where I can recite scriptures and things of that sort, or I could tell people like, hey, if you're going through this, go look at this book, right? Read this book, or read this scripture, and it will help you. So reciting scriptures is easy. The hardest part is being spiritually bound, right? Really applying the scriptures to your life. And the one thing that I have learned is that before I respond to someone, God has to be in it. Even though I think about things that I know that's not God-like, when I respond, God has to be in it. So before I begin, I will say this as a title: stay away from emotionally unstable people. So whenever I have a disagreement with someone, or maybe I don't agree with maybe certain things that they have said, or maybe I feel like someone did something to me that hurt my feelings, right? I'm human, right? I'm human. No matter how strong people may think I am, I'm human and I have feelings. Before I respond, I'll talk to God and say, God, I need you to respond, because I know that my words will not be your words. And so I just need your help with showing me and showing me a better way than my way. Because my way will never be good. It's always your way that is better. And I just need your help. And so these are the conversations that I have with God. That God, I need your help. And I need to know how to respond to people. What should I say to people? And honestly, I would say within the last year, that has been my conversation about, God, this is what I need to say, but I need to make sure that it's full of you, right? Making sure that I'm spiritually bound. And I'm telling you, it's so hard to really make sure that you're walking with the word instead of just reciting the word, right? And so being in this position where I facilitate a Bible study, it really challenged me, and sometimes it convicts me, because I'm like, okay, wow, am I really following God's word? Am I really saying what I'm telling people in Bible study. No, I got to practice that. And that's the hardest thing. And I told folks I'm very transparent and I'm very open in Bible study. And I tell them, like, I'm reading this word and this is the word that God gave me to tell you guys. But let me tell you that it's hard. It's hard to follow this at times. Because my ways is easy for me because it's comfortable. But God's ways is uncomfortable for me at times. But that's where it makes me grow and stretch, right? In the moments that I'm uncomfortable. But what God was showing me, especially listening to the sermon, going to church yesterday and listening to the sermon, I'm going to listen to it again. I find myself, I could be working and I'm like, God, I need a word. God, I need a word. And I would just go on YouTube and some type of sermon would come up. Most times I find myself listening to T.D. Jakes, or I would just, replay a sermon from Keith Battle, whether it was in the last month or years ago, because those scriptures, those sermons are still applicable and I still need them. Like, I need to be filled with God, not just on Sunday, but all the time. And when I think about my life now, and the one thing that I told God was, like, how do I control my emotions, right? I want to make sure that I'm emotionally stable, and I am. But what I've learned, and I talked to my brother about this, and I talked to my best friend, that I don't have to deal with people that are emotionally unstable. And I used to find myself in this position where I'm very understanding, I'm very patient, and I can tell you that now having a dog, she hits different nerves that I didn't know it even exists. But my dog shows me a different side of patience, right? Patience with someone that does not know. But if you work with her, she will. But with dealing with adults, I had this idea that they should know because of their age. But I can't give them the benefit of the doubt because of that, because of their age. Some people are not emotionally mature. And I found myself in situations where I've been super patient with people that are just emotionally unstable. And I said, wow, this is so draining for me. And I don't have to deal with that, right? I don't have to deal with emotionally unstable people. I don't have to deal with that. Yes, you are a certain age and I expect for you to be emotionally stable, but in all reality, you may not be. And that's okay. And I think what triggered this is because someone sent me a message and I just looked at the message and I was like, you don't even know me to make that assessment. Like, you don't know me at all. And what I found is that this person would be very contradictory with their words. And I pay attention, right, to people's words. I really pay attention. Like, if you say your favorite color is blue, you always love blue. What I heard is that your favorite color is blue. 2 weeks later, if you say, nah, my favorite color is green, I'm like, oh, but I thought your favorite color is blue. I never said that. I'm like, okay, now this person is like delusional because I just heard this. Or unless they change, right? Maybe you can change. Maybe you saw a different shade of green. You realize, hey, this is my favorite color, green. And I think I like this better than blue. I can understand that. But what I have found is that when people are emotionally hot and cold, that's because it's something within them that's not allowing them to be balanced. And I was like, no matter how patient I am, no matter how understanding I am, I don't have to deal with that. That is their problem. And I can pray for them to have that emotional balance because it is needed. But I don't need to deal with this person, right? And my brother was telling me, he was like, Sakina, like, I told my brother everything about this person. And my brother just hit everything on the nose. He was like, Sakina, you wasting your time. You keep trying to have conversations with this person. Why? Why are you having a conversation with this person? Like, he really was like, why? You want to have a conversation with this person because of what? Do you see this person in your life as a friend? You see this person in your life as any other role? And I was like, no. Okay. You don't need to have a conversation with this person about how they feel. They are emotionally unstable, right? And I had to think about it like, wow, they are. But then it made me think about a few things. So I'm in this process now where I want to change my wardrobe. And I looked at my closet a few weeks ago. And I was looking at shoes that I have not worn in a long time. And I remember I had a stilettos and pumps party for my 25th birthday. I still have some of those shoes. That was almost 12 years ago. And I was like, I don't even wear them anymore. Is that even in style? Right? Or is it even in style for me? Is that something I would wear now? And so now I'm going to clean out my closet. I'm going to either donate the clothes to a shelter or just donating to young girls on my block. But I realized that, hey, I need to make a change, right? I need to make a change. The things that's in my closet, I need to take some things out, put new things in. And I just started thinking about the people that surround me. And I was like, I told God and I told my brother, my best friend, I was like, I want to make sure I'm around new energy. Something that feels refreshing. Because I'm balanced. But I was like, God, are the people around me, are they balanced? And if not, I've learned that because I'm in a good space mentally, right? And I found myself separating myself from people that are not emotionally stable. And some people, it took me longer than others to figure it out. I was like, oh no, I get it. Okay, a light bulb just went off. Took me a while, but the light bulb just went off. And I'm like, okay, this person is emotionally unstable. But as I'm thinking about the things I like in my closet, I have a shoe closet. I was like, I don't need all these shoes, right? I can replace them with something new. I can take these out and I can get something new. And that's what I realized with people that was around me that's emotionally unstable. I was like, I don't need to be around them. I don't need to be in their presence. I can pray for them, but I don't need to be around them. I don't need to have conversations with them. They are emotionally unstable. And I told my girlfriend the other day, she's an emotional intelligence coach, life coach, and she's that friend where I can talk about emotions, right? And she gets it because that is her specialty. And I thank God for Brene Brown's work. I used to read her quotes about 4 years ago, but I didn't know the work that she has done. I just really loved her quotes. And it wasn't until my therapist introduced me to her. And she was like, I think you will really like her work. And I implement that in my clinic while I'm teaching. But I read The Gifts of Imperfections. And it's pretty much letting go of who you're supposed to be and embracing who you are. And I know who I am. And I told my girlfriend, I was like, I know who I am. I know what I need. I'm able to communicate that. But I need people that are emotionally balanced. Now, there's some days where you may be unbalanced. That's normal. But when you're always unbalanced, now you are affecting me. And I don't need that. But I'm grateful about Brene Brown's book, The Atlas of the Heart, is because it breaks down those emotions, right? To really explain what they mean and why they are important. And so when I'm making these assessments and these evaluations about my life and the people around me, I have to really think about it. Pause, reflect, and reset. And this reset is I already is able to see how this person is. They're emotionally unstable. And the person in particular had told me a lot of stuff. And I was like, okay, this all makes sense. This all makes sense. I see it. And it's after really replaying the conversations that we have, I just think about the song, I can see clearly now, the rain has gone. And I was like, I gotta stay away from this person. This person is not all together. And that's okay, right? That is okay. People that are hot and cold, I want people that's always hot, right? That's always consistent. And I was like, no, I don't need this, right? I don't have to go through this. I was like, because in life, my time is so precious and I don't want to waste it. And I definitely don't want to waste it on emotionally unstable people. Lastly, I was telling my therapist about the things I need. She was like, you're well advanced in a lot of people. And I was like, I said, it's just life, just going through things in life. But I said, one of the things that I need, like I really need, this is whether it's from a romantic lover or a friend, is that I need people that's impeccable with their word. If you tell me something, like if you say, hey, I'm going to do this for you on Thursday, I expect that you do it on Thursday because you said that you're going to do it. Now, if something comes up, I want you to communicate that to me and just say, hey, I am unable to do this. Something came up. Can we reschedule? I would appreciate that more than no response. And so being impeccable with your word is golden to me. When someone's not impeccable with their word, it makes me think whether or not I can trust this person, right? Trust and being impeccable with your word, it goes hand in hand for me. And I realized, like, hey, I need that. I need that. That's important for me. There's other things that's important, but that is important. It was important. My prayer to everyone that's listening to this is that I hope that you are around people that I hope that you are around people that are emotionally stable, like really emotionally stable. And I get it, life can take the wind out of us at times and it could be a lot. And I get that, but emotionally unstable people, they're not safe to be around, in my opinion. I had to separate myself from family members that are just emotionally unstable. And I realized, like, hey, I don't deserve that. I don't deserve that at all. I don't deserve people that are emotionally like inconsistent. Like I don't need that. I need people that are consistent, right? That is by far important to me. And that goes with, I've learned that, and I'm not a therapist, but I feel like those that are emotionally unstable are the people that can't be vulnerable with themselves, right? And being vulnerable with yourself is a risk, because vulnerability is allowing you to share a story to someone with the hopes of not being judged. It's a risk that you take. And I'm a risk taker. I'm not afraid to express how I feel. I know that my feelings are valid. I don't expect anyone to feel the same way that I do, but I just want to know that my feelings are validated. And if not, I'm just letting you know exactly how I feel. But that emotional intelligence is so important. And I hope and pray that if you had the opportunity to take an emotional intelligence assessment, and then once you get the assessment, to really look at the report, and I can send people the link, but really look at the report and see what are you great at and your areas of improvement, because we all are works in progress. So I really pray for that. But most importantly, be comfortable with yourself, right? No one can ever be like you. Your story will be different from other people's stories. So what are you afraid of? What are you afraid of? I challenge you today. I challenge you this week to be vulnerable. I challenge you to really be gentle with yourself and express what you need to say. And if that person doesn't respond, at least you know that you said what you need to say and you spoke your piece. That is my prayer for you guys today. It is Monday, so I would like to shout out to all the dope men out there. You are amazing. You are great. You are phenomenal. And I hope and pray that you are gentle with yourself. I hope and pray that you're able to control your own emotions. And I pray that they are stable. And I hope that you're around people that create safe space for you. But most importantly, I hope that you're able to create a safe space for yourself. Know that your feelings do matter. Know that you matter. I hope and pray. And I'm going to say this, and I pray that it heals someone. So I was talking to my girlfriend, and I'm going to end with this. I was talking to my girlfriend Saturday. We were just talking about just life. And I was like, you know what I've learned? And I said, you know what that made me think about? I have friends that are men, not a lot, or just being in conversation with men. And this does not apply to everyone, so this is not a general statement. But my prayer for some men is that when they make the decision to heal, I hope and pray that they heal the relationship with their mother. Because some men, some, not all, and just based on being in a conversation with men, it makes me think, did you really forgive your mom? And what I have found with some is that the first woman to break some men's heart is their mother, not their girlfriend, not their first love. And so I pray that for men that are watching this, and this doesn't apply to everyone, but I hope and pray if you are that man, that if you feel like there's some bitterness in you, look at your childhood and look at the key players in your life, and your childhood, and think about who played what role. But I really want you to think about, what role did your mom play? I say this to myself, what role did my father play? It wasn't an impactful role, but what I can say, the things that my dad lacked in, I was able to get that from like my uncles and older cousins. But what he lacked in, I didn't realize how it affected me until I got older, and then I made a decision and realized, like, hey, I know what I need. I know what I need from a guy. So I hope and pray for men that are listening to this. I hope and pray that if this is you and you feel like, yeah, you have issues with women and maybe there's other things, I hope and pray that you really heal the relationship with your mother. Because when you heal that, I think the other relationships that needs to be healed will follow. That's all I have, guys. Have a great day. Have a great week, and I'll see you next week. Take care.